Alright everybody, I ain't made a video in a long time, which, whatever, I've been busy. I done had a shop built, a little baby shop, but I mean it's pretty sweet. It gets the job done. Got me a wood burner stove here. Alright, there it is. Got a couch, put it in here. See, I'm gonna have a car upstairs, sit some punching bag for the kids. Just a bunch of storage, you know. Got me a little welding table. But anyhow, well, I'm here to talk about the Predator 459 from Harbor Freight that I bought, because I'm going to do a golf cart swap from this old club car right here. It's got a Kawasaki motor or whatever. I'm about to pressure wash it. Yeah, it's trashed. It's an old golf cart my dad bought and had for years, and been sitting for the last 5 years out running. I'm gonna fix it up for the kids to rip around the yard. Got a little go-kart I put together for the boys. It's got a Predator 212 on it. This is my brother-in-law's go-kart that he bought for his kids, $1,200. I got about $300 in mine. And he's already had to put a Predator motor on it, a little 212 motor as well. A little Yamaha Badger, picked up a couple years ago, a little 80cc. So they always riding. Anyhow, so that's where we're at. So I'm going to show you a couple things I've done to the motor since I've got it. Predator 459. So, first thing I did when I got it was I removed the gas tank, the air box, and exhaust. And you gotta do that because you don't have room in the engine bay. You got 17 inches from the bottom of the motor to the bottom of the seat. So, that being said, with the airbox on there, it's right at 17.5 inches, because I was going to try to modify the airbox so I could use the factory airbox, but you can't. So which is fine. I'm gonna get another air filter adapter, which that's what everybody's been doing on the 420s anyhow. I was just trying to see if I could utilize the factory airbox. And what I did was, the reason why I had to modify the airbox is because I put in this choke actuator where you can use a manual choke cable. Instead of having to open up the seat, I can run it to the front and just pull the choke and then go from there, you know. And then it springs it back to the open position whenever you're not putting tension on it. Another thing I did was I removed this gas tank bracket, and I have a vise. And what I did was, it's kind of jerry-rigged, but whatever. I flattened it out in a vise right there that I got, and then I bent this tip up. And my plan is, they make a plate that you can mount right here that will hold your throttle cable, because your throttle cable from your gas pedal is going to come up around the back. It's going to tie in here. This is your governor arm, and it's going to open and close the throttle body right there. You see it opening and closing in the back. This spring was originally mounted to a handle right here, and that's all it was. And I'm not real sure what this handle was for. I guess it's for a manual throttle or whatever. But the video I've seen, they did it just like this. I'll give a shout out to them on another recording. Anyhow, so I removed the starter button as well. There's a starter button that mounts in here somewhere. It's a situational button. I plan on mounting it somewhere in here, like on the face right there, so the boys can just hit start and then they cut it off right there. I mean, I ain't worried about a key. I got security cameras here, etc. And pardon my manners and etiquette in this video, because I'm just scrapping it together, because there's not many educational videos on YouTube right now that explains doing the 459. There's a lot of 420 videos, but not many 459s. So right here, and I gotta keep going back and forth on my phone because it's an older phone, I guess. Let me put it right here in the vise. I got the phone in the vise. Alright, so I got the phone mounted in the vise so I can be hands free. Move this bandsaw. This is a 780 clutch. I don't know how well you can read it. It may be backwards, it may not be backwards. 780-1. I bought this off of Amazon. I think it was $175. They got a couple cheaper ones in there, but I went with this one because they had decent reviews, and this is going to be my primary clutch. It's going to mount onto the engine like this, and then I got another clutch that's on the way in the mail that's going to go on the axle of the club car. And when that gets here, we'll put a video of that. They say this is the oil pressure sensor. I'm not 100% sure. This here is like an oil filter. I've already filled the motor up with oil. I used 10W30 Mobil 1. I think it's full synthetic. The reason why I used that is because I had it, and I used it in my Predator generator. And I just wanted to run a synthetic oil to start off with. We're gonna give it a try. Not sure the difference in synthetic and non-synthetic. They say it lasts longer, whatever. This here is a keyway that was provided with the clutch. Now, if you notice, it's a little thinner than the keyway that comes with the motor. This here is the keyway that comes with the motor. Okay, the bottom one. And right here in the middle is a little tack weld that I made to hold them together. Because when you put this clutch on, you got an inch or two of void, if you will. And so what I did was I made this keyway together like this so I could insert it and remove it without having to have it on there with the clutch. And then I also trimmed it a little bit because it worries me that without something in between here and this void, that this keyway could back out and possibly strip the crankshaft or mess up the clutch or whatever. So I just threw that on there, and I got to buy a bolt that will go in here long enough. Matter of fact, get that measurement real quick. I'm about a second knuckle deep. Yeah, about 2 inches in before you start even hitting the threads. So I'll probably buy a 3-inch bolt, 2.5-inch bolt, 2 3/4. I might buy all 3 of them, just see which one fits in there the best. This clutch comes with this little thin washer that I guess is supposed to go right here like this. I'm gonna have to figure this out, do a little more research on this. I don't know if I'm just gonna put some kind of fender washer on here, or if there's a special reducing washer. I seen somebody ordered a kit from Vegas Carts. I'm not ordering a kit from Vegas Carts. I'm actually not even gonna use their mounting plate because it's just about a mounting plate by itself. It's like $400, and I'm not trying to spend that money. What I did was I bought some tubing, some channel, if you will. It was like $32 for 6 feet of this channel. Maybe it was 60 or 70, I don't remember. And then I bought an engine mounting plate, which I may return this engine mounting plate, because when I bought all this, I bought it for the 420 conversion, and then at the last minute, I decided I was going to go with the 459 version. But the concept's still the same. There's another mounting plate on Amazon that I'm looking at buying. Probably going to return this one. The other mounting plate on Amazon can fit the 420 and the 459. It's got another slot, and the slots are a little longer, so you got more forward and backwards adjustment. Now, with me not going with the Vegas Carts plate, you know, I won't have the directional slidage, if you will, the side to side, not the forward to back. That being said, I'm gonna, when I go to line these clutches up and everything, it's not gonna be a permanent fit the first time. You know, I'll make adjustments, and I just won't have the side to side adjustment. I'll have just back and forth. I'm gonna mount this tubing to the engine frame and weld this plate to that, and that's gonna be my engine bracket. It's gonna be a little bit more budget friendly, I guess. Or right now, with everything, I'm gonna have about $1,000 and just putting this motor in here, and that includes the motor, and the motor was $480. So, you know, the ones on the website, they are $1,000 just for the plate, and it gives you a few other things like the exhaust manifold. That being said, the exhaust manifold by itself is $300, and I feel like I can fabricate something for 10 times cheaper than that. So, you know, if you got the money, that kit is not a bad idea, because it will make things a lot simpler and a lot easier to do the install. But if you're poor like me, you know, you figure out ways to do it differently. That being said, I'm gonna set up the pressure washer, and I'm gonna start pressure washing this thing, cleaning it up, getting it ready. Then I'll bring it in here, and I'll probably pull the body off, and then I'll start working on getting that motor out of there. I'm only working on this on the weekends right now, because I'm working out of town during the week. And this really wasn't nothing I had planned on doing. I had seen the golf cart sitting at my dad's house for 4 or 5 years, and I never said anything to him about it. I had a golf cart, and then one day he told me to get it out of there. I said, "You don't want it no more?" And he said, "Nah, it's trash." I said, "Well, I'm going to do a Predator swap on it then." And that's where we are. I'm thinking about $1,100, $1,200, $1,300. I'll have this thing up and running with new clutches, new motor, you know, and you can do it a lot cheaper than that. But I went with a different motor, and I went with a specific clutch set and 780 clutches front and back. And I learned all that from other YouTube videos, but mind you, so I'm not 100% sure if it's right or wrong or whatever. We're just gonna throw it together and see what happens. Anyhow, we're gonna get the pressure wash set up. turns out there's a little more body work than I anticipate, which all I was going to do was sand it down and spray paint it black again. But it looks like I may have to do a little bit of body work just so it don't look too crappy. I mean, I don't really care how it looks. It ain't what I'm envisioning, if you will. So, I'm thinking I'm going to do a little bit of body work on it. Not much. But I'll show you in a second. So, got it pressure washed. But I just now noticed this little bump right here. I ain't never really noticed that before. That's broken fiberglass. I'll probably try to do some Bondo or something on there. Maybe re-fiberglass it. I ain't never done no fiberglass work, but here's the old cruddy motor. Got it cleaned up a little bit. There's the transaxle I plan on using. That's the original. I'm going to change out that clutch. Put a new one on there. Yep, still old beater. I've seen some guys, you know, they lift the floor pan up and all that and put all this nice aluminum cleaner on it and whatnot, and I may do all that. Right now, I'm about to shut it down for the day because I'm about to go to work. Gotta head out of town. We'll pick this back up next week. I'm gonna let it sit here the rest of the week and dry out, and then I'm gonna slip it in here, move my welding table over, pick up my cardboard Predator box. It's going in the fireplace most likely. Swing the table around and park that thing right up in the center of this and start working. Alright.